The Answer. This pre-recorded program is sponsored by Tandem HR.
I see my name in shining lights. Yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
It's time to get down to business on the weekend's #1 business program. Known as the King of Networking, your host, Shalom Klein, has worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and created countless jobs. So, to success. Let's get down to business.
We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you could always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you will not want to miss. And we are going to kick off the program with our returning guest and the health insurance expert, my good friend, Tom Miroballi, an independent agent. Tom, welcome back to the program.
Hello, how are you?
You know what? I'm good. Restaurants are open in some way. That means that I'm being fed. I went, believe it or not, Tom, several months without eating because I believe in supporting small business. So if business isn't open, I can't eat. So I'm glad I'm being fed again. So life is good.
Attaboy. Good.
Tom, it's great to have you. And I know that while I have not been eating, you've been working very, very hard to ensure that everybody is covered with the right health insurance plan for them and for their family. Tom, as always, love your updates. Tell us a little bit about the latest and greatest in the health insurance world, in particular, in this era as we are sort of on the other end of of COVID. I think the last time we talked, we were right in the thick of it.
Yeah. It's pretty heavy and going extremely strong because a lot of people losing their jobs and everything don't have the money to pay for Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, which is not affordable. That's why I call it Obamacare. But, I just did a 57-year-old man who lives up north, and I did a program for him, 100% after a $2,500 deductible, 100% coverage for $465 a month. You know what it is with Obamacare for an HMO for this guy? $747 a month.
Wow.
With an $8,150 out-of-pocket cost. It's insane.
Absolutely. And I know, Tom, the thing that you have always prided yourself on is not just finding the affordable option, but finding the right option for the individual or the business owner. If you don't mind, Tom, tell us a little bit. You're always an incredible resource and incredibly knowledgeable in helping to outline scenarios of finding the right plan. So what are some of the trends and some of the new options that might be available for those that might be listening today?
Well, the one option, these are short-term major medical programs, and the short-term major medical plans, they can cover you up to $2 million with one company per person and up to $1 million per person with 3 other companies. And these plans are so popular that Governor Pritzker here in Illinois has placed some restrictions. After you have the plan for 6 months, you have to wait. Let's say, for example, United Healthcare. You have the United Healthcare plan for 6 months. After the 6-month plan, now that was a $2 million plan, you have to wait 61 days before you can go back to United Healthcare. That's what Governor Pritzker felt was a deterrent to put more people into the Affordable Care Act. Guess what? It's not working. So I have 3 other companies to fill the 61-day gap. And then after 61 days or longer, whatever the client wants, then we go back to United Healthcare for 6 months. And it's working out great. The key here is there's no mandatory maternity coverage. And that's what's blowing Obamacare out of the league. It's just too expensive. And people are finally waking up to it.
Well, Tom, I always appreciate your expertise and always promote that you are an independent agent, meaning you are not locked in to any specific plans, but rather you are incredibly responsive. And we'll make sure that we share with our listeners, obviously, every means of how people can contact you. to have that conversation. You return every call yourself and respond to emails and so on. So we'll share that information. But Tom, in our remaining few minutes that we have, we don't talk enough in our conversations about the Medicare supplement. And I know that Medicare is an option for some people, including many people that might be listening, but often Medicare just is not enough. So tell us, if you don't mind, explain and demystify what a Medicare supplement plan is and what options you have available.
Well, first off, Medicare A and B. When a person turns 65, you can sign up a year in advance at the Social Security office for your Medicare A and Medicare B plan. That's through the government. Now, the Part A, the Medicare A, is the hospital portion, and that's free of charge. The Medicare Part B is for doctors. So that fee is monthly fee for Part B is based on your earnings. I believe it is 10 years worth of earnings, your best 10 years of your working career. That is what your Part B is based upon. So every month, Medicare, whether you take Social Security or not, because you can take Social Security as young as 62, if you decide not to take Social Security at 65, the insurance company will, Medicare A and B, the government will bill you. Now, the Medicare supplement, Medicare A and B pays 80% of the Medicare approved charges, and your Medicare supplement pays the remaining 20% that Medicare A and B do not cover. For example, if I went in for an emergency appendectomy and it's $100,000, Medicare will pay 80% of the approved charges. Let's just say for conversation that the $100,000 appendectomy was approved charges. So they pay 80%. The government A and B will pay 80% of that $100,000 or $80,000, and your Medicare supplement will pay the other 20 of approved charges through Medicare. So it's 100% coverage. And those premiums for age 65, we used to have a wonderful plan called Plan F as in Frank. Well, the government did a little bit of maneuvering, and for people just turning 65, there is no longer the Plan F. They went to a better plan called Plan G. And to give you an idea, the standard Plan G for a non-tobacco user is $120 a month for a female, and the standard rate for a male is $152. What does that do? That is your monthly premium for your Medicare supplement that will pick up the extra 20% that Medicare A and B does not cover. There's no underwriting. Everybody is approved, no matter if they have pre-existing or not.
And one of the other benefits to the Medicare supplement plan, and I know you talk about this on your website, which, by the way, is a wealth of knowledge and information. So for all of our listeners, and we'll say this again in a minute or two, is healthplanchicago.com, and that's where you could actually see this website and all the services that are provided by Tom Miroballi, an independent agent. But one of those other benefits is that a Medicare supplement plan can help with out-of-network physicians, or when many that might ordinarily be eligible for Medicare Part A or B cannot access medical care when traveling outside of the United States, because we know that that's going to be coming back sometime soon. Those supplement plans are really important. Tom, we've got about a minute remaining. Anything else that you want to add in terms of Medicare supplements or just in general about coverage that our listeners might not yet be aware about?
Well, if a client does go out of the country, we provide $50,000 of emergency care. That is to get someone who's been traumatized and emergency care. We will helicopter them or send them back to the United States via air transportation. There's $50,000 of value for clients that go outside of the country. Here in America, in the continental U.S., Alaska, Hawaii, you can go to any doctor, any hospital in an emergency situation, and you're covered by your Medicare supplement.
That's fantastic. Well, Tom, as always, appreciate that knowledge and information, and knowing that you are you make yourself available for the information, but also, hey, listen, if somebody needs a medevac out of their foreign travel, Miroballi will be right there waiting for them, which is great news. Well, Tom, you are a health insurance expert, independent agent. How can people get a hold of you?
Call me at 630-863-3477. Once again, it's 630-863-3477.
Fantastic. And the website is healthplanchicago.com. Our returning guest, Tom Miroballi, always a wealth of knowledge and information. We appreciate you coming on the air to share with us, and we'll have you back on real soon. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Take care.
Absolutely. And we're going to be back in just a moment on the show, all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You can download podcasts on my website, shalomklein.com. Follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. I post tips and advice throughout the week. We'll be back in just a moment. Chicago, don't touch that dial.